Hello, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here with another card. This is actually the last card that we made for my stamp camp last night. This one features the Band Together bundle, and I love the color combo in this. It's Rococo Rose, So Saffron, and Old Olive. I thought those looked really good together. And I'm going to show you the bundle. This is the stamp set, Band Together. You've got the big floral image with some more leaves, and I love all the greetings in it. Such a versatile set. And then I really love the dies that go with it. This is the detailed bands dies. Of course, you can buy these separate, but if you buy them together, you get 10% off. And I love how they're dies that will die cut the flower. So if you want to pop the flower up, you can die cut that. And actually, the flower's a little bigger. So actually, here I'll show you on the card. That's how it lines up with directly with the image. So the images on here are just a little bit smaller than they are in real life. And then we've got the leaves, and that'll die cut the leaves out. Then we've got these beautiful bands. You've got some little ornate leaves too, so a lot of neat things you can do with this. And this is the die that we're using on this card. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here's the paper that you're going to need. You need a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 Rococo Rose, a piece of basic black that's 4" by 5 1/4, piece of Whisper White that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, another piece of Whisper White that's 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, and a gold foil piece that is 5 1/4 by 2. And this is what I used with that die. I just die cut this out with that. All right, now we'll go ahead and bring the card base in. Make sure the corners are lined up and fold it in half. That good crease with the bone folder, set that aside. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the image. And because it's a big stamp, I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat with a piece of scrap paper. Now with the rubber, you don't have to have that mat, but I think it just comes in a lot handier. I think it stamps a lot better when using a big image. So let's go ahead and grab this. I'm going to ink it up really good with the Tuxedo Black Memento. And I'm going to have it so the bottom of the stem here is going to be down in the corner, so kind of hanging off just a little bit, and then angle it a little. Okay, and then make sure I've got it good and pushed. And this is why I like having that mat, because now I know that the middle here is going to be supported. Take it up, and it's ready to go. Let that dry a little bit. I'm going to take this, I'm going to go ahead and keep the scrap paper though. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my Rococo Rose. I'm going to, these are the colors, Rococo Rose, Old Olive, and the So Saffron. So if you've seen my videos before, I always start with the dark color. You can do it the other way. It's whichever way you like better. I like being able to go back in and blend it with the light, is why I do the dark first. So as you can see, wherever there are lines, I'm coloring over those, and then the base of the petals. So if there's some with outlines, you just do the base of the petals. But I'm also making sure it's not a straight line, because with a flower, when you've got shading, it's not going to have a straight or a curved line. It's going to be jagged. So I'm going to do that on all the petals. And like I've said in the past, make sure when you use the brush tip that you don't scrub and really put pressure to it. There's no need to put pressure to it. If you do, you end up fraying your the nice sharp tip that you've got. So make sure you just use a light touch, and you do want to color over it a little bit because you do want it to saturate to the other side. So you can see I'm starting to bleed through the other side, and that's what's supposed to happen. So I'll continue to do this on all the petals. Okay, I've got all the dark done, so now I'm going to bring in my light Rococo Rose, And I'm going to color in the petals, but I'm going to go over the dark again, especially where the two shades come together, and that gives it a nice blended look. So if all I were to do were to go up at the top and kind of see the difference here. This one is blended a little better. This one, there's a really drastic difference between the light and the dark. So if I go over the dark where they come together, it's going to blend and it looks a lot more lifelike. So I'll keep doing this until they're all colored in. Okay, all the shading is done, but isn't that gorgeous? I love the shading on this flower. It is so pretty. Okay, now I'm going to go with the Old Olive. Now this one, my tip has gotten frayed because somebody had used it and pushed down too hard, so I'm going to go ahead and use the blunt side. Might have to get another dark one because I like using the brush side better. But I'm doing a zigzag line along that line there because I know I want the vein of the leaf to be a little darker, but you don't want it to be a straight line. Like I said before, it just doesn't look natural. And let's put a little shading under the flower, and this, since this stem is kind of underneath at the bottom, make it a little darker. Little crease there. That looks pretty good. So the majority of this one is done with the light Old Olive. So I'll go in and color the rest of that in, making sure I go over the dark to blend it in like I did with the petals. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now with the center, I'm going to bring in my dark So Saffron, and I'm only going to color in the center part with the dark. And then I'm going to bring in the light, and that's going to be on the outer part of the center. So this one you really don't need to blend, unless if you think that dark section is too dark, then you can go over with the light to lighten it up a little bit. But there we go, I like having that two-tone effect with that. So the coloring's all done. So now what you're going to do, we're going to bring in this. Actually, first I want to put it on the center of the basic black. See, that looks kind of cool too on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to the basic black side. And I wanted it to be a narrow band, so I did it just 1/8 of an inch bigger instead of the full 1/4 of an inch that I normally do. Get that centered pretty good. There, I just want to have that little bit of black to give it a pop, have it pop a little bit. So now I'm only going to put some snail here on these ends. Probably put on more than what I really need it to be. But that's okay because I don't want it to be falling off, because we're going to be putting it kind of here at the side. I didn't want it right in the middle. So kind of bring it over to the side a little bit. But I want to make sure that some of this band on this side is still attached, so you don't want to go too far over. Make sure it's straight. Then I'm going to bring my paper snips in, turn it over, just cut those ends off. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now I'm going to take the little Whisper White piece of 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, and now I'm going to stamp the Celebrate the Best Day Ever. Now I could have used any of the greetings because they would all fit, but this was just the one that I picked out for this card. And then what I'm going to do, you take this and you center that within there. And it doesn't matter that I'm not covering up all of this little ornate thing because I don't want that. All I'm going to want is this center section, and then I'm going to run it through the die cut machine. Okay, now with the magic of television, I've got that cut out. So what I'm going to do, put a little snail adhesive on the back, bring this back in, and this just goes right inside. How easy is that? Since it was die cut with the same die, it goes right back in. So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the card, and are going to be all done. So not a lot of cardstock on this. It's really easy to make. The coloring takes a little longer, but I love to color. It's kind of therapeutic, I think. I really like to color. I've always liked to color since I was a kid. So there we go. Very simple and easy, but that band just makes it look so pretty. So I can't wait to make some more things with those dies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's card. Like I said, this is the last one from my camp series. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you would like to be notified every time I do a video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll be notified every time I do a video and you won't miss any. You can also follow me on my blog, createwithchristy.com. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest pages, and you can get links to those below in the video description. And if you're interested in getting a $50 shopping spree from me, you're going to want to check out my Doily Rewards program, and there's a link to that in the video description below too, and that'll tell you how you can get that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll come back to see all my future videos. Have a great night. Bye.